Bijapur. So he was also heading the Bijapur comes under Zone 3, Climatic Zone 3. So he has also served as a PI for the Zone 3 natural farming experiments in the Bijapur region. He has also developed a natural farming center and all the laboratory facilities under this project. So, to tell about Dr. H.P. Babla sir, it goes on continuing. So, he served in various positions. He also served as a librarian with all those administrative services. He did not leave his interest towards the organic farming and natural farming. Till today, he always is having affinity towards having the research on organic and natural farming. Such a wonderful resource person is with us today morning. On behalf of all the participants, on behalf of the Kedadi Shivapanayaka University of Agriculture and Horticulture Sciences, I cordially welcome Dr. H.P. Bablan sir for our training program. And I also request Dr. H.P. Bablan sir to deliver a talk on soil health regeneration through ecological approaches. Sir, these are all our participants from 6 different SAs of South India. We have multidisciplinary team of scientists started from agronomists, horticulturists, soil scientists, plant protection specialists, even social science like extension and economic subject scientists are also here. They have all undergone 11th day training schedule till now. This is our last day. So this is in brief about the introduction of our participants. Now you can start your lectures. Thank you.
Hugely thank Dr. Virana. He is instrumental in Good morning to everyone. Good morning. I definitely thank Dr. Virana for the elaborate introduction that he has given. So that is what affinity towards English, and we work together in one of the projects, Government of Karnataka, that is the natural farming for sustaining the livelihood of the farm families across the agroclimatic zones of Karnataka. It is for all the 10 agroclimatic zones and 5 universities together. I think some of you are in collaboration with that project also, I hope. And listening from him, I think for last 10 to 11 days, I think you are enriched with the knowledge and you have complete insights of natural farming or organic farming, I hope. And different eminent peoples have addressed you for last 11 days. So this is the last day of the program. And really, I would have come during the first 1 or 2 days, I think, as per the schedule. But I have to attend one meeting at MAS. CRF organized the Trust for Education for New Era, that is one program organized by NAS and All India Agriculture University Association in Delhi. So we were there. So I'm able to attend second day of the program as per the schedule. Anyway, I want to interact with you. I think there are more of interaction than my presentation. I think many of the things that is what I am going to deliver through some of these slides. I think there may be a repetition also. Please bear with me. It is because many things have repeated. It is always there, and still I think the natural farming or ecological agriculture is in infancy, or you can say it is developing field. So you are all, that is youngsters, I think future is with this systems, and lot of transformations are going on now. People are more tuned towards the ecological approaches. So there will not be what Dr. Virana just told in the introduction, that is, there may be a confusion about the organic farming or natural farming or many other that is systems, that is farming systems that you are even doing research on these aspects, or even your teaching courses, curriculum, you might have included them. So we have many things that is based on which are mostly towards the ecology, environment, and other things. Those things we have to accept. So that's how there will not be much variations or difference between these different farming systems, as we can say. So I'll just go through some of the slides and what the research has been done in organic farming, natural farming for last, I think we started the Organic Farming Research Institute at 2004 at the US Harvard, the Institute of Organic Farming that we visited. So under RKY project, that is the beginning of RKY. That is first project on the RKY is, I think, with we got that time. That is simultaneously US, Bangalore and Harvard. We are the only two universities, and later on, that is the institute and research institutes were developed at different universities also. So that's how the organic farming research in the country, that is almost about, you can say, about 15 years from now, it is about 17, 18 years, that is, this is a developing area. And as such, now, even at national level also, new education policy also, there is a lot of discussion, and in the course curriculum they want to introduce more of natural farming, organic farming systems, more of skill-oriented, practical-oriented courses need to be developed. So it is there that discussion was almost half day in NAS complex it was discussed. So in the future there is a need for ecological transformations, and in our agri-food systems there will need a lot of changes are required. So in this direction we have to think, and I think it is most appropriate that you are being introduced to this subject for about 12 days. It is really, you are lucky that because when we deal with in our course curriculum regularly, in most of the department disciplines, we are not much tend towards this natural farming or ecological agricultural principles practices. So even though the ecological principles practices established long back, but we are not following it, or the farmers are not adopted those practices, even though we suggested, we recommended anything is in addition to the fertilizers. We always say that the application of organic manures, green manure, there are usual practice, and those things nowadays, as the commercialization or with the industrial agriculture, or sometimes we will say directly chemical farming, the farming becomes mostly chemical farming, because if you go to the rain-fed agriculture, that is almost 100% is chemical farming. No one is applying any organic manures. Only some of the systems that prevailing, they are following, and only to some extent crop rotation and some of the practices with that we can think of. So into these, and Dr. Chinagowda, he is from Harvard. He is one of my best students for his PhD studies at Harvard. And he has done for his almost 3 years of research on organic farming. He is contributed and developed the organic package for cotton, especially for and published more about the papers and the same organic cotton package has been accepted by cotton, that is the National Organic Cotton Board is there. Actually, for that we have given that recommendation and Minister of Textile is now recommending that organic cotton in many of the programs. So here I would like to say that is this slide. So many of the practice that we have, actually there will be a lot of discussions because India is a food secure country because of many practices that we have nowadays. So we have become almost number 1 and number 2 in many of the commodities. That too agricultural commodities like rice, wheat, maize, we are number 2 in the world, and in milk and vegetables we are number 1, and we are almost producing 25 million tons of food grains. I know we are exporting food grains, and mostly it has been because of the technological interventions that we try to be doing, that is farming, or you can say the green revolution technologies that have been adopted to a great extent. So there is always we have achieved a lot in agriculture. So why there is a need for this transformation in agriculture is required? That's the one big question always many times we discussed in many forums. That's what. But only the 2090, that is the effect of this intensive agricultural systems or practices. Some of the effect of this on the soil health is most important. So there will be effect on the soil health or overall degradation of the land. So out of we have 3.8 million area, almost there has been observed that 120 more than 120 million is being considered as degraded, almost 6.7% as per the latest NBC's report. Has been observed is due to many factors. It is not only the agriculture alone. So there is a desertification has happened because of the degradation of the forest or the land degradation, soil and degradation, erosion, and even the soil organic matter. So what we have around 40 years, 50 years back, the organic matter content of the soil. So it is almost in the records is there. We have a average of the national level record 0.8 or 0.9% organic carbon in the soil. But present the records indicate that around 0.36 or 0.4% of the organic matter. Almost it has reduced to half. So that has made a great impact on our agricultural production, and that's how I thought that is regeneration of soil is required, and the decline in the nutrient efficiency, what the figures, even though many we have the watershed programs and other programs. We have a number of watershed programs have been organized and through different schemes, but even then the 82 million hectares because of the soil erosion, soil has happened, and this is a major problem, and some areas that to intensive agriculture that we can say in Indo-Gangetic plain, and even in our state, Tungabhadra project area, Krishna, UJP, and one other project areas. So there is a lot of the soils have been affected by salinity, alkalinity, waterlogging. These are some of the problems that we are facing today. And in the international level, also the UN also pledged actually during 2021, almost the 2030 declaration, they will say that it was in 2021 UN Food System Summit. They have given clear direction that is for the development, UN development goals out of 17, that is development goals, SDGs. So 7 are towards the agri-food systems. 7 of the goals, they are almost here now. Is what each country has to have these satisfaction with respect to the environment. That is, they want an inclusive economic development. That is, then the environmental and even social inclusion. That is where the recently had even 2023, 24 that is the taking moment they have reviewed the UN food system summits recommendations. So that is where the promoting awareness and sustainable food systems is considered as the major first area in United Nations UN also. That is how the most of the national level, international level, local, regional level. So there is a need for soil, that is, you have to save the Mother Earth. That is what even there is a different foundations and different NGOs and even different organizations, government of India also. They are now moving towards that is the save Mother Earth is the major first nowadays. And this can be happening only by the soil building process. So how to build the soil? That's what the first now given for natural farming, organic farming, ecological farming. So these are the areas where and increase the crop and animal productivity is again diversity. Then the natural process on the farm. So these are all ecological, based on ecological principles. If you adopt many of the things when we study, so there will be a lot of natural processes happen in the soil. Only we have to create a favorable environment for the soil biolife or the soil biodiversity, flora and fauna. So many things will happen in the soil if you say a non-natural process. So this can happen through this two farming systems. That is what we can say the organic and natural farming, where it is in organic farming. Always we say that it is not just substituting our nutrients or the plant production practices from chemical to organic or natural. So here the more importance that we have to give and is the farming methods. What farming method we have to follow and farmer has to adopt. So that is most important. That is instituting farming methods. That is even Howard himself when he is written in his book Agricultural Testaments, he has indicated that instituting the farming methods is more important for organic farming or ecological agricultural systems. So there, given the importance for the instituting farming methods, where we can bring a lot of changes, introduce changes in our farming system. Within farming systems, we have to bring a lot of changes can be brought out. And the resources, that is, we have to integrate the methods with the proper recycling, on-farm recycling of the resources that you have seen in Harvard, that is our Bio Research Center. From 2006 it was established till now, that is for about 17 years, that is it is 100% on-farm and resources. There were no addition of any external inputs, almost 100%, even the additional quantity of vermicompost or compost or other manures produced on the farm can be used for other research or other purposes rather than bringing it anything. So there is no, that is use of, or you can say the on-farm management of resources we have to do importance. That's how it is possible through the proper methods and also instituting better integrated organic farming system, or I am pressing upon integrated natural farming system also. So this is where the regeneration of the soil, even in under principle of conservation agriculture, in conservation agriculture world over, it is now being adopted, and in US alone there is more than about 100 million hectares. World over we have about more than 180 million hectare area in conservation agriculture. So some of these principles from different farming systems, why can't we take in our natural farming or organic farming? So organic farming and natural farming were not restricted by boundaries. That is, not practices or principles that is there in agriculture. So best practices we say always good agronomy practices. So in these 6 practices, that is strategies, if we on a farm, so certainly we can minimize the use of the external resources. So that's what we have to think of, that is minimize the soil disturbance or minimize the use of chemical inputs, then maximize the biodiversity, both animals and plants, then always keep the soil covered. That is most important thing what I have experienced in over about 15-20 years of research in natural farming, organic farming. As we keep the soil covered, that is, so almost over 50% of the organic matter is saved. So exactly in tropical climate or semi-arid tropics like this, that is temperatures rising to 40-45 degrees Celsius in summer months, so the soil temperature will be almost 6 to 8 degrees higher than the atmospheric temperature. Then the loss of organic matter of the soil is can be protected or conserved by minimum soil disturbance. And we observed in our 8 years of conservation agricultural park. So the surface 0 to 15 centimeter of the soil is considered as more productive soil. So in these, whatever the changes that will take place in organic farming and natural farming is change in the soil structure or its in the different its properties is the surface 0 to 15 centimeter of the soil. So the if you do the organic matter analysis or organic carbon analysis for different depths, if you have a soil cover and certainly 0 to 15 centimeter of the soil will be much richer and it will have a very friable in conditions and they can conserve more water, and organic carbon content is almost double the organic content we have observed about if you have a soil cover, minimize the soil disturbance and keeping the soil covered with the crops or still much. We have the different cover crops evaluated in different farming systems. In maize we have evaluated cover crops, in cotton cropping system, in sugarcane cropping system. So many cropping systems, cover crops have been evaluated, and the residue mulch and cover crops and the minimum soil disturbance. So these 3 practices if we follow, we can conserve as much as organic matter in the soil. Then the other advantages, that is, you can minimize the use of chemicals or biodiversity. Certainly it will improve. Certainly it will improve. That is, once you conserve water, you conserve organic matter. So naturally, our all soil biological activities, our enzymatic activities will be improved. So then this is not, and later on we can think of refining the technologies, location-specific technology that we are doing now at different universities or different active centers. So that will be there, and to local environment, the technologies can be develop. So this is how to make our ecosystem that is more sustainable and resilient. So these 6 principles that is if we adopt, certainly the regeneration of the soil happens, and there will be improvement in this, and this helps to, that is the build-up of the soil. And many times in organic farming and natural farming, the questions will be asked how you meet the requirement of nutrients. So the plants will not make any difference with respect to its nutrient, that is foraging of different forms of nutrients. So it will be in ionic form, everyone of us knows. So there will be mineralization will happens, and there the nitrification or the direct fertilizer can apply. So this is where that is what the 6 strategies that we adopt, and some of these practices if we follow, certainly there will not be any problem with respect to nutrient management that we observe, especially the nitrogen. So nitrogen, you all know that 78% of nitrogen is there in the atmosphere, and most of the fixation will happen, and this we have to improve the environment, the soil environment, and if we produce more of biomass on the farm, so try to produce more of biomass. Maybe I will give you some of the slides are there, that is to present how we can improve methods, practices that we can adopt, so that we can improve. So some of these build the soil organic matter. So it did not happen in 1 or 2 years. So that's how the long-term studies are required in organic farming and natural farming. Even the government of Karnataka, they have just told validate the natural farming practice in 2 years. So he said that it is just impossible to conclude validate. So that's how we extended it to 2 years, another 2 years. So after 4 years, we can able to give some results. Trends, that's what we are told. So these are all not the natural farming recommendations or packages. So just they are validated the crops under natural farming, which are the crops can be grown or better suited, or which are the crops which can give early response, and which are the crops can give a response after some dates. So this is how that is reduce the soil electrolysis, reduce the cropping system and crop rotation systems, suddenly add nutrients to the soil. And one more thing, that is we are not giving much importance for the manure handling. So manure handling is a big topic. Even you can see in the library a book on manure handling, how to improve manure handling methods. So all composting methods, all fermentation process, all liquid organic manures. So many of these practices we can adopt in improved manure handling practices. So that is most important aspect, because the loss of, you can say, we have so much of the dung, the urine that we are collecting. So most of it is, there is a reports that more than 50% will be lost in handling process only. So best manure handling practices can be adopted for better. So in natural, I will just do 4 or 5 principles, which ecological principles, which suits to our natural farming or organic farming practices. That's what we are interested. So one important thing, that is we adopt all in thing, that is the soil condition, that is the present day, even in irrigated agro-ecosystem, in rain-fed ecosystem, both the situations, the soil structural conditions have been deteriorated or degraded. Soil physical condition, mainly because that is more important than supplementing nutrition. That is, everything depends upon a good soil structure. So, with the physical condition of the soil. So, structural stability of the soil is most important, and it will give, that is, response, that is, whenever the other management practices if we follow, if the soil structure is good, then we can get the response to other management practices. So present day what happened, that is this soil compaction and crust formation. So you can see in almost all the red soils there is a soil crust formation is most common, and the compaction also, that is in most of the soils. So our root depth is restricted, our rhizosphere is very much limited. So it is very narrow, and even if there is a dry spell of around 10-15 days, the plant starts weathering. So this is how the response, that is, we are not getting to our any management practices. That's how the response or our the efficiency of nutrients is low. So your irrigation efficiency or fertilizer use efficiency or other management practices. So geographical soil condition is most important. For soil condition, very good indicator is its bulk density. Unless you take it and that is, you do simple analysis of bulk density to indicate its structurally how stable it is. So aggregate stability and other things, they are not there, that is, you cannot do it. So aggregate stability and even the penetrometers, you can find out the penetration capacity. So that is the hardness of the soil. But the organic carbon, bulk density, I consider these three important parameters are most important one. So in our study, in 2014 we started in 2005, almost after 9 years, we can able to see there is improvement of organic carbon in different cropping systems, in groundnut, sorghum, or soybean, wheat, in our transition zone of Karnataka, so in Harvard. So we found that there is almost 62% improvement in the soil organic carbon. So now recently one of our students has submitted. So he has reported from this same fixed site almost 0.85% of organic carbon. So almost it is double now, 100%. So if it is stabilized at 0.8%, it is really great. So it is very difficult to manage the organic carbon content in our situations. So for that, many methods, practices we have to follow. So there will be a slight improvement, around 6 to 7% improvement in the maximum operating capacity, and bulk density is reduced by around 7%. So this is really wonderful. That is, if you reduce 1.2, it is considered as the best bulk density. As far as possible, the soil is the most friable. And that aeration will be most appropriate. So those conditions can be achieved. So if you improve your basic, that is our soil physical condition, then the soil fertility conditions, that is nutrient status. So in these studies, almost initially we have 250 is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So our sulfur. You can see here even 100% organic with legume rotations. So in all the cropping systems we have legume rotations included. So there will be improvement in 250 kg available in 280p. So this was almost successfully done 2 seasons in a year for about 9 years. So these results clearly indicate that there is a need for reduction in the application of the organic manures in these fields. So particular condition, that is, if you achieve a particular level, so then you can think of reducing. That's how we reduced now to 75% and 50%. Even in ASRP network project on organic farming, at OFL only, they have even reduced it to 50% one block they have made and 75% in another block. So how much organic manure you can save, and that can be extended to other area. So this is how the overall the nitrogen, that is the fertility status of the soil, can be improved over a period of time. This can happen, and you can observe here, that is the last one, 100% inorganic irrigation. There also it is possible to sustain the soil fertility. Only legume rotations. If it is not possible to apply the fertilizers, because as per the UN report, the life of the soil they have given in their report clearly that only for under 60 years, if the same practices are continued. So for 60 years, otherwise it is again there will be a challenge for, or you can say there will be a problem of food security what we are facing earlier. So this was the report, that is under 60 years if you not correct it, the present practices of soil management or nutrient management. So again we may face the crisis for food in the world. So looking to this, even these results clearly indicate that even with only limitations, with only inorganic fertilizers only, so it is possible to maintain the fertility. There may not be possible to improve it, but at least we can maintain this. But certainly we can improve with integrated INM means where we have followed 50% organic and 50% inorganic fertilizers, integrated nutrient management. So certainly there also the improvement, and even exclusively 100% organic system also there is improvement. In DPP extract or micronutrients also analyzed. You can see the green bars, they are all showing compared to initial values of red. So there will be improvement with all the three systems, that is. So even regulations can improve. And one more thing, that is, if you improve the soil organic matter, soil physical conditions, certainly it can help to have the better activity, that is what we observe in soil arthropod population. Certainly improve here. The E5 is inorganic, 100% inorganic, but the organic 100% and 75% organic which have been made, and 50% organic. So these three excessively have the higher the population of these soil arthropods, that includes many longolans, all the other species. So some of the practices that is the field of tenure I put it up. So soil organic matter management and crop rotation in cotton cropping system, where we are almost 9 years continuously in cotton cropping system we incorporated its recipes. So after 8-9 years, almost the yields with 100% organic are stabilized to 50% organic, equal to 50% organic, similar. So the residues will contribute to a grade. So that's how in conservation agricultural principle in US they are corn soybean system. So more than 120 million hectares they are doing with conservation agriculture with corn, soybean, strip cropping or 1 year crop rotations where yields are stabilized over time. So residue incorporation continuously for about 20 years almost now. We are following more than about 150 million hectare area. So the availability of nutrients, how you can think, that is very good physical conditions, soil microbial activity, uploading capacity we have improved. So this nutrient availability in the system, so it is highly location specific. You have to have that design or modules that have to be developed for location specific. So you only can you know that the word Bill Mollison's, that is what is these principles of permaculture principles. So he recommended more than 1,000 designs. He traveled in India extensively, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh and several locations. So he recommended different designs for different agroclimatic situations. Similarly, we should design for nutrient restrictions or requirements. For rice-based cropping system, it may be different. Cotton-based cropping system, it may be different. That too under rain-fed situations, because present rain-fed situations are starved. That is, they are even both nutrient starvation or even the water nutrients. Both are facing, and they are even practicing. That is what you say that low external input agriculture. They are not even applying enough chemical fertilizer also. You agree with that? Okay, in rain-fed areas to make a survey, so they are not applying even our recommended fertilizer also. So how the soil can sustain the productivity? So there is no biomass production. So you might have seen whatever the productivity that we are having about 20-25 years back, similar productivity is there in rain-fed, there is not much improvement. So most of our
food bowl that we are getting is only from rice, wheat, maize. So these three proper systems, 120 million tons from rice, 111 million tons from wheat, and about 50-60 million tons from those grains, some of them. So this is how the situations, for different situations, we have different ecologies and production environment about develop different practices. That's what this is, and feed the soil rather than the crop, and the nutrient management schedule. We have the different practices, organic manure, very old, but they would still not. That is promising organic manures, compost, many of the manures, liquid organic manures, because when in the beginning, when we evaluated and presented our data, that is, there is a lot of decline in the crop rates. We observed in natural farming, almost 25-50% reduction in the yield in the beginning. In organic farming also in the beginning we noticed similar thing. But after 6 years, 7 years, certainly in organic farming they increased the yield, and the results have been accepted. And US Harvard, we are the first to publish the practices for organic farming. You know that about 17 crops we have the practice for organic now. So on similar fashion, because we got better results, even farmers, I surveyed more than 200 farmers, success stories, and documentation of organic farming practices we submitted to government of Karnataka as well as India. So that really, that's how has given a way to develop a policy on organic farming. Most of the organic farmers, 200 organic farmers in Karnataka, most of them, their fertility status is maintained because their efficient use of these liquids or better handling of their residues, that is, animal residue or plant residues. So this is how because most of the nutrient release pattern also being studied by many of our students. Nutrient release pattern in our project also we have done nutrient release pattern in vermicompost, in compost, in FOI compared with the compost. So the vermicompost nutrient release pattern is excellent. So it will be available within 15 days. Most of it, 50% of it is available, and there will not be any problem. But for compost or farm and manure, it may take around 25-30 days for getting released for 25-30% of its nitrogen. So there, these liquid organic manures helps to that is meet the nutrient requirement of crops when there is a demand is high. So during flowering or during the grain development stages, so nutrient demand will be higher. So at that stage, there will be these liquid organic manures helps. In one of our study at Jaipur under 1920 or before even that is in some of the crops cropping systems we found that natural farming. So for the government of Karnataka from zone 3 and zone 8, we have recommended almost 8 crops, that is not much reduction in the yield, hardly about 10% reduction in the yield, they found better. So this is where we got the, so most of the practices have indicated compared to chemical farming, all these farming systems have performed better. So this, that is, we have to think of changing our farming system, and we have to think of the phasing out our chemical fertilizers from fields. So that will be required for the future. So this we have to plan, and in even net returns are also higher with these systems compared to chemical farming, and other cropping system, the program staff are also with some similar results. So these are some of the practices for insect. You almost said for cultivation, apartment funding. So these are you are seeing there at our bio resource center. This vermicompost unit every year we need to produce nearly about 120 tons of vermicompost. So from the resources there in the farms. So 120 tons of vermicompost if we produce annually with such a unit of around 5 on the farm of 40 acres. So certainly it meets the nutrient requirement of 30 tons. So 120 tons means per acre if you apply only 3 tons. 3 tons of vermicompost, the recommendation is even higher for our pulses, and it is most optimum for even maize or sorghum crops. So these you have seen, and what that is after doing all these things about nutrient management, soil health management, soil structural management, then we have to think integration of natural farming is required. Some points I just give later on we can discuss. So this is how I thought that is in natural farming we can think of introducing some of the best organic farming practices or other approaches. So application of vermicompost, green management, crop history management. So those things we have introduced and defined as integrated natural farming system rather than only natural farming system. So just to differentiate with natural farming system, it is not much change you can observe. So that is where this is more suitable for, because in the integrated farming system only we got to know now, because our holdings are very small. That is 917 holdings, 9 holdings are less than about 1 hectare. So 85% the approximately they comes, and 80% are marginal, 92.8 are very small, less than 1. So these are most required, that is where conserve natural resources and protect the environment. For that we have to think of these agroecological principles. Now in the world, most buzzword people, scientists are even asking, even under GIZ project, one of the German collaboration project they want to introduce in Karnataka. So okay, I think you may be going to now these projects, all universities they want to work in that, all PVKs, all university design research centers with the farmers scientific research it is. So this is most of it is ecological studies only, agroecological studies. So here the agroecological principles you have to adopt, that is what I have emphasized earlier also, biomass recycling, and then the immune system, farming system to functional biodiversity. What type of functional biodiversity? So what functions the farm should do? So when you go to a plan for any farming system, so it should be productive function, that is. So productive function, and what other functions you can think of? So protective functions it has to do, and any further multiplications. So this is how you have to think its function, that is, you can do the conservation of water, or the biodiversity is a function of a system. So this is how we have to increase the functional diversity on the farm. Number of enterprises that we have to include, our cropping systems, crop management practices. So these are the things we require, enhance the soil conditions and managing the organic matter in the soil, minimize the loss of energy and diversity in basic resources. So these 5 actually we have given for agroecological studies that will be a strong foundation for our farm or the research. That is, and we can think of fertilizer expansion inputs we can minimize and grow soil fertility, protect the environment, all low input, low risk farming practice. There are no risk farming system. Present day, the risk in farming system, what we have observed in zone 3, even if you go to Naravan, in just a few days back we have traveled along with our drought monitoring team. So many of the maize crops have died. So fail, that is very, so such a very sugarcane, a cropping system in even B zone as well as in zone 8 or in zone 3, in many areas the productivity is almost sugarcane this year 50% because of low rainfall. So such of the risks are there in the farming. So those can be reduced to a greater extent. That is, can sell adaptation technology or mitigation technology to drought is possible because it can give better climate resilience and harmony with nature. So these are some of the ecological principles we have to adopt rather than any of the organic farming or natural farming. So it should, we have to think as a agroecology, and then we have to plan our location specific planning. So in agroecology, the methods of farm intensification were given agroecology. So once, what I noticed in our farming systems, once we conserve water by better practices, so it may be broadband and cover, better green handling, crop pest management, cover crops, and improve the organic matter, soil fertility, nutrient status. Certainly, our crop intensification is possible. What the present is the crisis or the present discussions regarding drawback of natural farming, there will be yield reduction and other things. So this we can overcome this, and we can intensify our cropping system. So that's what biological intensification or ecological intensification is the next phase of natural farming and organic farming. So it is possible once we intensify the production system for about 8 to 10 years. So that's much patience, that much efforts may be required, but that has been achieved by many farmers that we have studied the results. I will go through some of those results also. So this is where we can have eco-friendly and natural farming. Certainly we have to fetch a premium price also, that about that certification and premium price so strengthen the ecology, environment and quality food. So concept of food is also changed now. People require quality food, but who has to produce that quality food? The vegetables or other foods are. So this is where the natural farming or climate mitigation adoption technologies. So this I told that is certainly we have surveyed even organic farmers fields regarding during drought years. So there is a better mitigation and adaptation for the climate that is change situations in organic and natural farming. Some of the farmers experience also. So this is where we talk about this Nizamut, Jivamut and mulching and topsoil. So this is where Nizamut, Jivamut and natural farming we are practicing. And this farmer, that is still we are very fond of this person, farmer. There is Malay Sappa Vishwati of Tiruvilla, Haveri. Anybody has visited his farm. So for last 15 years he is maintaining his farm by organic or natural farming practices. So even during drought years, even we have a farmers interaction made of the entire village and surrounding villages with him. So during even 2011-12, there was some crisis, so that is the rainfall was low. So during those years also, 3-4 years, 2011 to 15. So during that period also, so what he does, he prepares and stocks like fertilizers in the bags. Weekly he prepares this enzyme. So this is, he said that best manual for his chili crop, cotton crop, chickpea and green gram. That is, his chili was rated as best quality chili in Cochin. That is where there was an exhibition and Mela of chili, and his prices are always best. You will get the best prices.
He is a very well model for many people, and this microbial. This is what in our farm we have divided into different blocks in our farming system. So here we have this block is pigeon pea system. This is a maize system where we have the different practices followed. So the surface covered by pigeon pea and soybean during the summer are the maize stalks we can leave, and this will protect our soil cover. And we found lot of the soil earthworm population is much higher, and this practice still you have to have a research. You have to do in research point of view, that is this FAFSA principles. What I have read and found that the plant roots even absorb the water in the form of water vapor. So there will be, that there will be constant exchange of gases takes place from the surface and the soil, because that 50% of the soil pores are micropores occupied by air, and 50% of the pores are with water when the optimum moisture conditions at field capacity. So always it will not be there in the field capacity of our soils. So you know that 60 to 70, 80% of our pores are always with air. So there should be a constant exchange of gases takes place from atmosphere, air and soil air. So for nutrient exchange, that is even the nitrogen fixation, there is a need for the exchange of gases should take place, and even for moisture. So humidity is high, atmospheric humidity is whenever it is high, so then roots can also absorb the water vapor present in the air. So that's how we have earlier we are that is can say that is the rabi crops in black soil area. If you go, that is even after sowing there are no rains at all. So on residual moisture we can harvest a best crop of sorghum, wheat, safflower, chickpea, many crops, rabi crops. How it is possible? So this is possible with WAPSA like system that will be prevailing in a atmosphere, that is in the soil, if it is soil is rich with organic matter and there is a very good aeration, low bulk density, and the proper exchange of gases should take place between atmospheric air and soil air, and always the irrigation should be given the root tips, not for the main roots. So because white roots you can observe whenever you dig the soil profile, biosphere, so always white roots are more active. So they will be in search of air always. So whenever there is a flooding in maize field, you can observe about 10 days if you in a standing crop maintain the moisture, the roots will come in the surface, white, you will see in the surface will be completely white. The roots they will be there. So that's how this system should be prevailing. So this is where that's how surface, there is 1 foot of that is that 15 centimeter of the soil is very important. So if you make the 15 centimeter of the soil most friable by regular mulching practices, certainly it will help to moisture. That's how the water, you can water from the atmosphere, so not from through irrigation. So that is possible. So this concept is also adopted in natural farming or ecological farming or ecological transformations. This is one thing we have to give importance, that the roots keep it active, soil should be friable, there should be proper exchange of gases should take place, and the water vapors should be, that is the roots can absorb it and maintain its vigor or turgidity. So this is where the technology is for IMFs, that is liquid organic manures, and in agroecological farming, most of the models they are agroforestry based. So if you introduce agroforestry, you know that there are different types of agroforestry systems. There may be the sequential system or simultaneous systems. Okay, so simultaneous systems are always good, because in a farm we cannot have a sequential systems. So in simultaneous systems we have the alley cropping, hedgerow cropping or border cropping, trees. So these are the things. So alley cropping, hedgerow, barrier ridges, scattered planting. So these we should have in our farming system concept. We should have these three components with us, and they help in N fixation, nutrient cycling, soil nutrient input, and reducing any toxicities. That's how drains, bio drains are also there. If you can Acacia acaciformis, or many have tried, even in the north, many of the tree species have been evaluated. So this we tried this hedgerow planting. So hedgerow of the Virsidia. Actually, when I am coming from here, Dharwad, that is, today I have seen lot of big Virsidia all along the bunds people, that is farmers have planted. So Glycidia is the boon, that is, you can say, for our farms. We substituted almost 30-35% of the nutrients through Glycidia. So on the bunds, on the your wastelands, even in our one of the farmer, Basavaraj Huchannawar, in our near Dharwad, so he is planted about 3 acres of 12 acres of his farm with Glycidia completely, and using it for vermicomposting because it is a shallow soil and not much productive. So from that he is getting a lot of residues and he is putting into vermicompost and producing more than 100 tons of vermicompost, and he is telling that every year whatever the salary that is, sir, you are getting or the employees are getting, I am also getting, and even annual increments like that, I am increasing my income every year. So this is how adopting the technology possible. So 35% of the nutrients can be substituted in our model we have indicated. That is what I would like to say. This is what the hedgerow. In our field you might have seen. So this is a soybean crop is there and hedgerow of Glycidia. So in a year, how much biomass you can expect from this? Minimum of 12 to 15 tons of green biomass we can add regularly to the soil if you put a hedgerow of Glycidia at around 30 meters interval across the slope if we have plant. Huh? Yeah. That is all along our field boundaries and in the field bunds. Even we have put that block you might have not gone. That that is the Glycidia was planted in contours, on contour line we have planted the Glycidia in a 4-acre block that was taken as a demonstration block. So there we found this is very good, and the root system also we have studied. It will not compete with the crops. So Subabul, it will compete to some extent, it has surface root system, but Glycidia root goes deep. And even one more principle I would like to tell you, that is nutrient holding on the farm. So what do you mean by nutrient holding? So throughout the year, the process of this mineralization, nitrification, these things will go on. So there will be nitrogen release, will be there. So if there are no crops, it will be lost. So leaching and other losses. So this can be recycled back. It will be held in the green tissues, and this can be cut and incorporated into our field. So this is excellent. And also you can evaluate in your PG student studies or in demonstrations or wherever. If you put in between the crops Glycidia mulch, in cotton, in pigeon pea, or in any other crop, sugarcane, maize, and then on this Glycidia you spray Jivamrut. Okay, so the results will be really excellent. What we have observed, best growth, what we have observed, even cotton yield up to 20 quintals per hectare under organic farming, under rainfed situation in black soils of Dharwad. So this is possible. So this is what the practice we see here, the cotton and Glycidia mulching is done. On this you spray this, and the weed management in natural farming, present farm, that is a contest, that is, it is the most problem. So if you put this, it will manage the weeds. Just intercultivate at 30-35 days and put this Glycidia mulch completely, then it will take care of the weeds, and the crop will, canopy will complete, and even there are some weeds below, nothing will happen. So such of the systems we have to develop our own systems for our. And one more system we tried, this is the green leaf manuring from outside. Even we can grow the lucerne along with cotton, this, and even sanyam. So this is sanyam grown along with cotton. So at this stage, this is around 25 days, you just cut it and put it as a mulch, sanyam. So that will add to the soil. And one more, that is the biomass production, from where it will come. People will question for the, where you will get so much of biomass to substitute your nutrients, NPK. So it is going to produce there itself on the farm. So as an intercrop or on the bunds on the, so this is where in one of the study almost 10 to 12 tons of biomass as intercrop in cotton we are produced 5 tons of the green biomass produced in Lucerne. So much of nutrients it enriched. In rain-fed sorghum in Vijaypur, we have grown sunhemp in sorghum, that is sorghum below and sunhemp, and at this stage you just harrow it in between, so it will add biomass to the. And one more study, this is really good for those because maize is having maximum area this reason. So maize you can introduce cowpea as a cover crop. So there is no reduction in the yield. We evaluated for 5 years. That is Kiran Kumar, one PhD student also done, and Vidyavati, that is 3 people have done on this. So this is the cover without cover crop where you can see the weeds, and here the cover crop cowpea. So it is almost 8 to 10 tons of cowpea, that is biomass is produced, and it fixes around 50 to 60 kg nitrogen, and it will supplement to maize. So maize yields first year there is no improvement, but second year, third year, if you follow this system, there is improvement in the maize yield. So in Malaprabha, Ghataprabha project area, what happened? For 10 to 12 years they have grown cotton like anything. They got minted money, maximum profits they got. Then cotton yields were reduced. They shifted to maize. Now for last 10 to 12 years they are continuously practicing maize. Now the maize yields are also reducing. So there is a need for rotation. So if the farmers are unable to do it because of some other agronomic reasons, so they can think of at least a rotation, introduce cowpea as a cover crop, and sunhemp as a cover crop also tried in pigeon pea system, because pigeon pea almost 8 to 10 lakh hectares now in Karnataka. So this area, this we can think of green gram in cowpea intercrop. And one more study, crop intensification study being done in Dharwad itself, cotton groundnut intercropping with broad bed and furrow practices, broad bed and furrow and cotton intercropping. So it is highly productive. So this is where the biological intensification I am referring for. So even under organic system, we can able to get about 20 quintals of cotton equivalent yield. Our next picture shows pigeon pea soybean pigeon pea equivalent yield of around 20-25 quintals per hectare. So they are highly productive systems. So the systems we have to develop by proper practices. So this is the pigeon pea after harvesting of the soybean. You see here broad bed and furrow, and in the furrow there will be good conservation of water, and after harvesting of soybean we can see the good crop, that is pigeon pea growth. And another system, this is where we have conducted experiments in where we have visited biofarm. So in the same farm, that is sugarcane and the green gram, that is paired row planting of sugarcane and 4 rows of green gram. Even you can think of 6 rows. So here I have seen sugarcane very close planting. So you can think of 4.5 to 6 feet or even up to 9 feet. There are some legumes as intercrop. And one more thing, you might have busy with some farms you have given. Okay, just let it be. The one of the system here we have tried the maize and the pigeon pea strip cropping. Why we have planned this experiment? Strip intercropping, because now the laborers are scarce, are not available, costly. So they are moving for mechanized harvesting. So one of our PhD student, Kiran Kumar, he has done on strip intercropping of pigeon pea with maize under organic or conservation agriculture. So here they got a very good response, that is. So strip intercropping, so that we can maintain our soil fertility and soil health. So in rice, mung bean rotation, and soil microbe plant interactions you can have that. So this is new area of research. If you plan microbiologist, if you are those who are microbiologist or even agronomist, soil scientist, they can think of this. So usually the root exudates play important role in nutrient, that is mineralization, its acquisition and mobilization also many times. So this can be enhanced because the root exudates, they produce lot of sugars, carboxylic acids or amino acids or other metabolites. So they help in microbial proliferation, diversification, their number. So this is what I can say that called as rhizosphere priming. If you use the word rhizosphere priming in Google, so you will get lot of information on these soil plant microbe interactions. So that will play important role in organic farming and natural farming. Ecology and environment, what we are talking about, it will happen only when we will get these beneficial organisms. So their, that is population or number, and depends are their biomass, microbial biomass carbon, microbial biomass nitrogen, all those things we can quantify. So through better rhizosphere priming effects we have to get. So this is where you can see here more than 200 carbon compounds are there. So this is where there is a research is required in future, and this is biological nitrogen fixation, P-solation, mobilization are there. There is a lot of phytohormones. There are number of reviews you will get on these studies are going on. So in our biofarm, what we have observed biological nitrogen fixation. This is what potential even ICR ICRISAT one report Vani, Dr. Vani and his associates have studied. So this report you can see here, the crops like soybean fixes 9 to 450 kg of M per hectare. So there is a nitrogen that is we need through fertilizers that we have to think. So I think these are some of the organisms. Even in our Rudra, he in his experiment also he has isolated these organisms from the soil. So there is a lot of these activity being observed. Even they found more than 60 to 70,000 earthworms per hectare area. So this is where the need for transformation and about research validation. I think a lot of things have been covered with this. Dr. Virana Mehta presented these things, that is Dr. Chandrasekhar for Zone 8, where we have done research validation for research. And these are the crops: rabi sorghum, green gram, soybean, chickpea, pigeon pea. The yield reduction is less than about 15%, 20%. About 4 years, after 4 years. So this can be easily taken to the natural farming if you have any programs. So there is not much reduction in the yield, and the yield can be enhanced. And some of the crops like bajra, safflower, the yield reduction is high. In the beginning we may not venture to it. At least these crops we can think of under rain-fed and irrigated chickpea, soybean, maize. They performed very well under natural farming in our validation. So natural farming and organic farm systems, a higher soil biological activity indicate the beneficial microorganisms and their population, enzymatic activities. And some of the farmers participatory study also I would like to use, that is we evaluated 20 farmers, organic, 20 inorganic farmers, conventional, and 20 natural farmers. Totally 80 farmers are selected in our area, where different their practices have been documented. And I will show you one table. Just this is a table you can see here. So natural farmers and organic farmers, you can see compared to chemical farming or conventional farmers field. So why they become the role models? We visit those organic farmers field, natural farmers field. We found that they are very good and sustainable. They are climate resilient. They are most viable. So that is because their soil fertility status is been improved over a period of time, and cost of production is reduced because they are doing all on-farm activities. So this is where, and one more success story you can find in Dharwad Kalgati district Taluk. We have the more than 100 farmers. Of such farmers, we have introduced agroforestry system. You can see here 1997, 2009 and 2021 data. What are the changes are happening in their field? And they are most economical now, and they are even visited by even World Bank team or many scientists or many students, many programs, they are visiting these fields. So all of you please listen, that is this success story being that is, you can see here the importance of trees. He is having only 3 trees, now he is having 1600 and 2100 in an area of 3.5 acres. So much of that is risk in farming has reduced and his income having increased, and we can even during drought years the trees can provide income, additional income to lead his family. So horticultural crops are introduced and some of these, and overall income and vermicompost. So this is how the animals numbers have increased from 1999 to 2009-21. So there is not much change between 2009 to 21 in 12 years because it is stabilized. So such a farming systems we should have. And one more farmer, Nagappa Agarvunje in Kamplikoppa in Dharwad district, he is also having just about 1.5 acres. So his income is more than 8 to 10 lakhs per year from 1.5 acres. So he has about 10 to 12 animals he is maintaining. So his entire farm is only trees, horticultural crops and forage. Complete 1.5 acres is forage completely. So he maintains a very good breeds of Kilar breed, and he sells these Kilar young bulls every year. And so this is hybrid Napier, Lucerne. So these are all very shallow soils. So such as the systems we have to change, and from the same field, this was complete hillock, one hillock of 16 acres. So 4 or 5 farmers were there, Madiwali family it is. So in Harigire village, so they were all going to labors. So when we adopted first time organic village program, we adopted this village, and this hillock we want to transform into a very good plantation. So then we dug, that is with BIF association. So they are all implementing agency. So entire hillock of 16 hectares was surveyed, made a contour bunds, and on the contour trenches have been opened, and all the contour trenches were filled with water, and water conservation has done first in the beginning, and next step the biomass has started generating, and all these contour bunds that have been opened, trenches at around 10 meters interval, they have been planted with sapota, mango, guava and other trees, and all field boundaries with the tree component of around more than 1,200 acre tree species. So this is how the degraded barren hillock developed as intensive, highly productive and agri-horti silvipastoral model in Karnataka, that is. So these fields of 16 acres is now full of green. It is just like heaven, people will observe when they visit that place. So this is, and almost all 4 farmers, those are going as a laborers, they are now staying in the farm, on the farm, and they are self-sustainable. So this is how we have to transform. So this is how the some of the government programs also you should know at present. The National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture, PTY is there, and all these. Now the government policies are changing. Now National Mission on Natural Farming, under this National Mission on Natural Farming, so Ministry of Agriculture Farmers Welfare, they want to take up almost 1,500 crores they have earmarked for next 3-4 years, and you can think of that. And finally, some of the policy issues or recommendations that I would like to you suggest, that is the benefits of ecological services to a greater complementarity and synergy in and making our farming system as integrated natural farming system is the way forward for future sustainability or livelihood. And ecological intensification is possible. I have shown through some of the slides, and you can think of all crop intensification is possible, and you can increase the productivity. So there is a cost of cultivation can be reduced to a greater extent, and you can increase the income, and the premium price can be given. There is a need for interdisciplinary research. This is what the way forward for this group, I think, for training program for about 12 days. So there is a need for interdisciplinary research is needed to have a better livelihood to the farmers. So that is required, because the farmers are under crisis now because of climate change issues, and also there is a lot of degradation has happened. So there is a need for some interdisciplinary research, that to some transformation, that to ecological transformations, that is ecological transformations are required now. So ecological transformations through some of these practices, and we have to have deliberately tailored to the agro-ecosystem, that is our agro-ecosystem concept should be known. So with this I think I have taken more time of your last day. You are hurrying going to your places of work, but what I will say that looking to these slides, what type of is it, organic farming or natural farming, or what? Integrated natural farming. So that's what our vision should be, because many times the people will confuse. Even in our first instance, our plan was natural farming. Only 4 ingredients were used: Bijamrita, Jivamrita, mulching and Vapsa. So we thought that we should have one more treatment we included in our studies. So fortunately we got better results with integrated systems than only natural farming, what it means. But don't think that natural farming, the government of India has also changed its concept. Even I have been to manage for interaction. So manage is the knowledge partner for natural farming, national mission on natural farming. So when we interacted, the government of India representatives are also there. The government of India has changed. Not it is any Subhas Palekars or only the natural farming with these 4 principles. So we can have a wider adaptability. Best practices what agronomists or soil scientists or other disciplines till now we developed. So those can be practiced, those things can go hand in hand, and we have to develop some agroecological transformation is required, and the present aim of the government policy is slowly phase out the chemicals from our agroecosystem, because you all know that our agroecosystem is degraded and it is polluted, we can say, that is from the fertilizers, chemicals, nitrates, or with the pesticide residues. And recently what I have seen for last 4-5 years, rampant use of herbicides. Even we have seen in our Western Ghat region, that is same place, this one. So in Yellapur, Sirsi and Siddhapur area, what we observed, so a lot of the people are afraid to drink a water flowing in a nala, because he is telling, sir, they are spraying this herbicide above this and there is a continuous rain. So what it is washed out, that is all herbicide will be this polluting our streams. It is joining that is bodies, water bodies. So they are afraid of drinking water, even though we will say that Western Ghat water is coming from forest and it is very good for health. So it is for all our medicinal, aromatic or other plants, biodiversity is there and this quality of water is good. But people are afraid to drink that water also. The people are carrying water from their own home in hilly areas even. So this is the state of affair now in agroecology studies, and people are very much now aware of these things and they want to change, transform this. So this is what I found, that natural farming or organic farming, it is agroecological farming systems we have to adopt, or there is a need for agroecological transformations by better methods. So with this I think it is one way or some interactions in between you had, but anyway if you have any doubts we can interact. So it is I am very happy to share if I know, or all of us together to have a platforms for discussions and future also wherever you go, and you can discuss on these issues. So information is available now, and many of the Western world is now looking for such studies rather than doing only the conventional systems. So they have left the conventional research, I am telling you. So many of the big companies, Bayer people have came few days back. They have entered into seeds, Bayer seeds, and also they want to go for green labeled pesticides. So nano green nutrients, nano green pesticides they want to develop. So they are all comes from nature. So I think this is the present scenario of the natural and organic farming. So if you have any questions, you please. Thank you. Thank you for patient hearing, and I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share some of my thoughts. Thank you.
Any questions on
Sir, as a person who is involved in policy decisions, as you told, you are a person who was invited from manage to make some policies regarding the natural farming. What was decided, sir, at the end? It was natural farming or integrated natural farming to be taken forward in the country?
Madam, that is really good, because we have to threshold these things, strategies we have to have better. So integrated natural farming is the good for our that is to have the better crop productivity point of view, and also it is ecologically sound. So two things we have to consider to adopt any practice, what I feel personally. One should be economical and ecological. So whichever the practice you feel yourself, it is ecologically sound and economically viable. So those things we have to adopt. It may be natural, it may be organic, it may be ecological farming, or even biodynamic farming is there, or permaculture is there. Many systems are there. So we have to think why we should restrict ourselves, our boundaries. Don't fix our boundaries. Farmers have no boundaries. So we have put boundaries for ourselves. So adopting particular system. So one person, that is why if you propose natural farming having only 3-4 components, means started following those practices. But farmers, what I have observed, one of the farmer, that is Rajsekhar Nimburgi in Bijapur district, you might have seen, anybody can see his farm. So he is having 12 acres, he is getting minimum 12 to 15 lakh rupees per annum. So without any cost and he has involved. We have prepared his success story and submitted to Government of India, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. They have published. So this is where is 100% natural farming, but he is following all organic farming. He is producing vermicompost, compost. He has 12 animals, and all dung and urine he is recycling on the farm. Green manuring, agroforestry is having, and he is producing the lime nursery. Is having lime nursery, getting from lime nursery only he is getting 3 to 4 lakh per annum, selling nearly about 40-50,000 lime seedlings from Koppal, Ballari, Vijaypur, Bagalkot, Belagaon. Many people are getting this planting material from him. So that is where we should not restrict ourselves to this, and we have to think ecology and environment, and we have to think the productivity and intensify our farming system. From the beginning it may not be possible, it will take time for transformation. So that should go slowly, that is, so biological transformation we have to make, and certainly it is integrated natural farming, or we can say in many words, that is because the policies are there, the government is promoting with some framework. So natural farming means why should they include everything? That's only can say natural farming also include everything, good practices in that. If a policy is there for natural mission on natural farming, means certainly we have to accept it, and we can include, there is no harm in including whatever it is good practice of soil and water conservation starts in rain-fed areas, because our first target is in natural farming, organic farming is rain-fed areas. 50% of the area is rain-fed, and those soils are more degraded actually. Rain-fed area soils are degraded because they are even not applying even enough fertilizers because of risk of failure of crops. So yields are very low. So there the migration of people and other activities, it is more. Okay.
Crop rotation with legumes crop, you have shown the table number 2, readily muted engagement in PK and sulfur.
Yes. Yeah.
What might be results between the P and
So certainly the soils, if you analyze total phosphorus, it will be 500 to 600 kg in the soil available, and not available, it is a fixed phosphorus. So for last 50-60 years we are continuously applying, and there are native minerals also, you know, well, and even with respect to potassium also we have minerals. So there will be a lot of soil biological activity going on. Secondary metabolites are produced. Some unique substances are also produced by microbes. So those solubilize the phosphorus present in the soil. So certainly it will meet the requirements of the crop. So when the government itself has announced during 2000, I think 11-12, when the DAP prices have announced, immediately they have brought a policy of use all the farmers peace solubilizing bacteria, PSB. So different programs, the NCOF and different organizations, they are providing throughout India. So that is because the organic farming, if you, that is the natural farming, if you improve the soil biolife activity, soil microbial activity, certainly there is no dearth for nutrients. We have to recycle whatever it is possible, and if the soils are infertile originally, that is, so then we can think of addition of rock phosphate to some extent in twice in a year or thrice in a year can be done. What the coastal people will do, rock phosphate in Sirsi, Siddhapur and Sagar, these areas, they will apply rock phosphate to their areca, rice, big crops once in 2-3 years. So that can be done. That is natural mineral. That can be permitted under natural farming or organic farming or any of the studies. So there will not be, that is, so this is how the soil activity, soil dynamics should be changed.
Sir, one question, sir. Since you have been a senior most agronomist and being involved in organic farming for so many years, when we started studying agriculture scientifically, we started comparing farmers' practice versus recommended package of practices. That means most of the universities are ICMs to develop recommended package of practices, that is integrated nutrient management. That means it involves biofertilizer, it involves organic manures and fertilizers. Over the years, we started studying organic farming. The nutrient management or nutrient requirement of the crop is met out through organic sources. That involves solid, liquid, reduced cultivation, mulching, everything, sir. Agriculture being itself is an artificial way of creating favorable environment for the crops. It itself is an artificial. Then why calling the organic farming earlier when we studied solid also? In that liquid we have studied Bijamruta, Jivamruta, mulching, everything was there in that organic farming also. Now the term natural farming and calling organic farming separately, whether it is quite confusing to the farmers, even for others, because we have studied all those things now. It was included in the Bijamruta was included and it was studied. Jivamruta was included, it was studied. Mulching known for all. What are the advantages of mulching? Everything was known except the word Vapsa. We know that the favorable condition, soil moisture condition, field capacity, that should be almost 50% moisture and 50%. Everything was known fact only. Now because of the word natural farming or due to some movement in the country with respect to the natural farming, everybody is turning into the word natural farming. What is your opinion regarding this one, sir?
Okay. So frankly to tell you, so many of the farmers who are in contact with me and many organizations or university, so when we documented their practices, they are all organic farmers. Okay. And when the people are thinking now the changed policies and other things, when they say natural farming, they start saying that I am a natural farmer. So I am practicing for last 15-20 years. So these things with time and with the government policies, they differ. But practically, in principle, the practices are organic farming or say natural. But one thing, there is a difference in organic farming, natural farming. People started commercializing the organic farming. So they started selling different products commercially and making money out of that. Even products like neem-based pesticides, they are different names they are selling, or any other thing. This is happening, that is. So it is into more of commercial ventures, organic farming. So to make it, the government thought the cost of production, that is. So the cost of production, people are commenting, without following any ecological principles, if you purchase vermicompost, if you purchase compost and then some botanicals or biopesticides, it may be verticillium or it may be other, many are available now, Bavaria, Metrrhizium. So when you purchase everything from outside, so then certainly cost of production will be higher. So then people are arguing that organic farming is the most commercial venture, and those people want to export, they are following this organic farming, and the cost of production is more than conventional agriculture. So in organic farming, principle itself says that it is on-farm management of our resources. No external inputs. same concept is in natural farming also. That's how finally they come, this principle is better because that organic farming has certain guidelines. We cannot change it. Okay? So the government might have thought at the higher level and also suggestions from many organizations. So they make it natural farming very broad, which may include organic farming or other principles also. There will not be much change as such in the principles. So that's how this the concept has natural farming. But no difference. What I feel, they are two faces of the same coin, we can say, and practice which is good for the farmers and environment. So that's our aim and goal. Okay.
Any questions? Sir, as per my perception, we are failed to convince many farmers to bring under either IFS or the organic farming. In this situation, is it possible to convince the farmers the further than the organic going for the natural farming on a larger scale, sir?
Actually, many of our clusters, when we started developing under natural farming, so this question was raised, and many farmers themselves are already, they are in the mood of natural farming because of the policy and programs. Certainly there will not be any hindrance in accepting this natural farming by the farmers, and this movement will go now, I think so. Yeah. So there will not be any problem, and you have to educate them. That is most lacking in India. There is farmers' knowledge. So that's how most of the things need to be training first in the stage phase. So they have to be educated about organic farming or natural farming and how they have to proceed in this direction. So there will not be any problem. That is what we can think of that. Okay. Thank you.
Dear friends, I think since from 10 o'clock to up to this time, Sir has elaborately highlighted about the soil health management through ecological approaches, and also some other information related to organic and natural farming, some policy decisions and some management practices. I think all of you had a wonderful information, and also all of you had a healthy discussion with Sir. On behalf of all our participants and on behalf of the University of Agriculture and Horticulture Sciences, I profusely thank our resource person Dr. H.P. Bablar sir for actually sir wanted to finish off his presentation when he had been to US Dharwad, but I requested him, sir, your presence is required here itself so that you can take much more time and elaborately you can highlight about the activities, and sir will also be the chief guest for our valedictory function. So with all his busy schedule, actually sir is having so much of work in the headquarters. In spite of his busy schedule, he could make it here, and for this, for his presence as a guest faculty guest speaker for this technical session, I wholeheartedly thank once again Dr. Bablar sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
thank you all for watching the clippings of our training program. I welcome all the dignitaries to gather on the dais for this training to conduct the valedictory function. I request Dr. Bablat sir, Dean Agri, College of Agriculture, Dharwad, as the chief guest, and also our Dr. N. Dinesh Kumar, Dean PGS of our university, and also Dr. K.T. Gurumurthy sir, Director of Extension of our university, and also I request Dr. C.J. Sridhar sir, Professor and Head of the Agronomy Department. I request Dr. H.K. Veeranga sir, Course Director of this training program. I welcome all the dignitaries and participants for the valedictory program of 12 days national training on natural farming. I would like to call Dr. H.K. Veeranga sir, the course director of this training program, to address the for welcome speech and also give brief report of the 12 days training program.
Most respected dignitaries on the dais and all the fellow participants of this training program, and staff of KVK Shumaga, and colleagues from the Department of Agronomy, and all the invitees who are present here. Very good afternoon to all of you. We are in the last session or last program of our 12 days training program, national training program on natural farming, present status and future prospects. For the information of the dignitaries on the dais, this program was commenced on 30th of October 2023, and the program was inaugurated by one of our alumni of our parent university, UAS Bangalore, and a progressive farmer with respect to organic farming and natural farming, Dr. Arun Kumar VK, from a director of Krushi Parivar, and also our university former member board of management. He has inaugurated the function, and our honorable vice chancellor was presided over the function, and all our officers were there in that day. So with the wonderful beginning on 30th of last month, we had almost 25 resource persons in our training program. We called various resource persons from different organizations, overall experts in the field of organic and natural farming. We invited our former two directors of research directors of research from UAS Bangalore. One of the eminent personality, Dr. A.K. Yadav, he is the National Advisor for Organic and Natural Farming for Government of India, working at New Delhi. He has also delivered a talk on scope of natural farming in India, and in our state, by the funding from Karnataka state government, we had almost 4 years ad hoc project on zero budget natural farming in all the 10 agroclimatic zones of Karnataka. So I have invited almost all the principal investigator of all these 5 or 6 zones. They came here and presented the results or scientific validation or assessment of the natural farming practices in different crops across the state, and all the aspects related to natural farming, starting from its history, concept, definition, principles and practices, and the scope of natural farming in India,
what are all the research outcome and package of practices developed with respect to different crops in natural farming, and how best we can manage the soil health by practicing natural farming, and what are all the challenges when we adopt natural farming is management of weeds, pests and diseases. How best we can maintain these pests, diseases and weeds in natural farming were also covered by various resource persons, and what are all the advantages of having green manuring and mulching in natural farming. How well we can maintain the biodiversity by having crop diversification and cropping system was also delivered by resource persons, and effective disease management strategies through non-chemical methods, and how best we have to prepare the inputs required for adoption of natural farming by using the on-farm resources alone. In the natural farming, we are not bringing any material from the outside market. That is one objective of natural farming. How best we can make out the nutrient supply by preparing the natural farming inputs, and how exactly we can control the pests and diseases by making the concoctions by the plant residues and dung and urine of desi cows available in the farm itself. How best and how effectively we can control pests and diseases were also delivered. One of the project director from Indian Institute of Farming System Research, Dr. N. Ravishankar, he delivered a talk on natural farming research, present status and future prospects, and natural farming practices in different agroecologies of India, not only in Karnataka, across various places in the country. The experiments on natural farming are going on. He has very elaborately deliberated the or highlighted the results of various experiments on natural farming in different crops across the country. And we have also had a class on insect pest management, how best some of the IPKs can be effectively utilized to control the pests, diseases and other crops in different crops, and also the adoption of natural farming practices in horticultural crops and soil health management under natural farming, and also one of the aspect on certification process, that is very important. Certification, how best we can subject the produce obtained from out of natural farming to certification. What are all the roles of liquid organic formulations and microbial activity, how best it enhance the soil health, and how efficiently it could meet out the nutrient requirement of the crop by enhancing the enzyme activity. All these aspects were covered by various resource persons from different SAUs, central institutes, and besides we also had an opportunity to visit 5 to 6 farmers field who are effectively practicing natural farming since a decade. So we I have taken all the participants to the farmers field. They have witnessed the crop performance in all the different farmers field. They had an interaction with all the farmers. They clarified some of their doubts with the farmers only, and we had also visited Kanneri Math, KVK Kollapur. That KVK is across India. It's known for adoption of organic and natural farming demonstrations and practices in the premises of KVK. We had taken all our participants to there. We spent almost 1 day there, and while coming back we had also been to US Dharwad, both agriculture research stations and horticulture research stations under US Dharwad and UHS Bagalkot. We visited those farms also, and our trainees had a wonderful discussion with all the farmers and also the fellow scientists who are undertaking experiments on natural farming. Apart from this, some of the economic analysis made with respect to natural farming. Some of the states, they have already taken up adoption of natural farming on large scale through demonstration mode or ORP mode in larger area. So for that, an empirical analysis was done by one of the eminent scientists by ICRISAT, Dr. Srinath Deekshit. He has presented a talk on natural farming and empirical analysis. And after knowing all the said and done the achievements of natural farming,
how best these natural farming practices can be promoted in the farmers field. That means strategies for promotion of natural farming was also delivered by one of the eminent directors from Manage, and we had an opportunity to have the presence of DG Manage here in our training program. Dr. P. Chandrasekhar sir was also addressed our participants, and he delivered a talk on what exactly the national mission on natural farming, and what is the role of Manage in promoting the technologies or practices related to natural farming. Madam Chandrasekhar was also with us. She is also DG for National Institute on MSME. She has also had an interaction with all our participants, and today we had an opportunity to have a eminent resource person, Dr. H.B. Bablat sir, who is having a vast knowledge on organic as well as natural farming. Since morning he interacted with our participants and delivered a talk on how best soil health management can be maintained by following certain of the agroecological principles. So these are all in brief about some of the topics we covered in this 12 days training program. We had done the program as per our schedule. All the resource persons could make it possible to come over here and present, and some of the presentations were on online mode also. We had an opportunity to hear from all the resources persons what we invited them all are participated. First of all, I would say thanks to all the resource persons for sparing their valuable time to deliver a lecture to all our participants. On behalf of the university, first I would like to thank all the resource persons and farmers and other organizations where we made our visits. Sir, this is all about our training program. We have copied all the information in the pen drive, and we are providing the same to all our participants. And the very purpose of having these kind of training programs is ICR is insisted to include a syllabus on natural farming for the undergraduate students. That is one objective. And another objective of ICR is to promote or demonstrate best practices of natural farming to the farmers field. So with this context, 28 participants from 6 SCAUs of South India are participating in this program. We have 5 participants from Rahuri, 4 participants from PJT SCAU Hyderabad, 3 are from UHS Baglukot, 4 are from UAS Raichur, and 3 are from UAS Bangalore, and 6 are from our university host organization. And all are having the multidisciplinary team of scientists. So scientists are from agronomy, soil science, horticulture, plant protection, entomology, as well as pathology. Even social science scientists like scientists from economics and extension are also present from among the participants. So whatever the objective of ICR is there, to meet out the set objectives of ICAR, ICAR has sponsored this program to our university. I am again thankful to ICAR for providing an opportunity to conduct a 12 days training program here. This program is carried out under the NAHEP IDP program. So this is in brief about the program and lecture schedule and information of the participants who are participated in this program. Sir, all our participants were very cooperative during all the 12 days. Our classes started exactly from 9:30, and sometimes it ended up to 7 o'clock or 7:30. So during all those days they were very cooperative, and apart from that, every morning 6 to 7:30 we had yoga classes for all the participants also. In that also participants are actively participated. So this is all in brief about our program, and it's my pleasure to introduce the dignitaries present here on the dais. Again, it's my opportunity to introduce our chief guest of today for the valedictory program, Dr. H.B. Bablat. Presently he is working as Dean, College of Agriculture, UAS Dharwad. He served in various positions in the university in officers cadre, and he did lot of work on organic and natural farming. So his presence in this program is an added feather to our training program valedictory function. On behalf of all our participants and on my personal behalf and on behalf of the University of Agriculture and Horticulture Sciences, I wholeheartedly welcome him for this function. And our KVK is very supportive for conducting programs like this. And I discussed the same thing when we initiated this program with our Director of Education, Director of Extension. He was very cooperative. Our Director of Extension, Dr. KT Gurumurthy sir is here. He will be the President of today's valedictory function. I also welcome Dr. KT Gurumurthy sir, Director of Extension for this program. Actually, on the first day, we wanted to have one of our senior agronomist and an officer at our university, Dr. M. Dinesh Kumar sir. He is a senior agronomist and presently working as Dean Postgraduate Studies. So on the first day of our program, due to his busy schedule, he could not attend the program. Now I requested his presence today. Sir is in front of all of us presiding on the dais. I also welcome him for this function on behalf of all the participants. And whenever we want to take up some of the experiments on natural farming, when we had a project, sir was also so much supportive for all of us. And always his thinking is very logical. How best we can plan the experiments, how, so those sort of support always he used to give. So for his presence here in this function could also serve some of the valuable suggestions from Dinesh Kumar sir to all of you. So I also once again welcome you, sir. And this program is organized in coordination with Department of Agronomy. Dr. C.J. Sridhar sir is also our professor and head in the Department of Agronomy, College of Agriculture, Shimoga. He is also with us in this function. I also welcome him on behalf of all the participants and on the behalf of the university. And our DOE, I requested him. He is in the campus. He told me that he will join for the function. In his absence also, I welcome him for this function. And the main focal theme of our training program is all our participants. So all the 28 participants who present here, not only today, in all the 28 days, I once again welcome you all for this valedictory program. I welcome all the participants for this program. And scientists from KVK and colleagues from the Department of Agronomy and other staff and my colleagues of KVK, Department of Agronomy and College of Agriculture are here. I also welcome him for this program. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving the brief report of the training program, and also I welcome you for this program, sir. Now I request participants to give their feedback and few suggestions about this training program.
Good morning, one and all. My salutations to the dignitaries on the dais, and I welcome my friends and fellow participants to this group, and I would like to give some insight into the wisdom we have gained to this program. It was started with the lecture by Dr. M.A. Shankar, who was ex-DR from US, Bangalore, and he gave us the proper concept of this natural farming. And this was followed by Yadav sir, who was national advisor for organic farming and natural farming, and also He very well told about the scope of the natural farming, the organic farming, and he gave in-depth knowledge of the difference between the natural farming and the organic farming. And this was followed by that of Chandrasekhar sir from US Dharwad, who was heading this Institute of Organic Farming. He gave a very clear idea about the history, how it evolved into the present state of research in organic farming and natural farming. And he very well gave the knowledge of the preparation of various astras, concoctions which we use for the organic farming in the natural farming. And he was very practical in presenting the results of his research outcome as to which was the best to follow. It's neither directly the organic farming nor the natural farming, but in between, like the integrated natural farming or integrated organic farming. And this was also followed by a farmer sharing his experiences, Prasanna Murthy, and we appreciate his practical knowledge. And there was interaction with Dr. Prabhakar Shetty, who gave a very in-depth knowledge about the process, how this research on organic farming came into the state of Karnataka, and how, and he also presented the results of all 5 universities, and he gave very in-depth presentation on the results and the variation in the results and how it varied from by center. And he also opined that going exclusively by natural farming may not be fetching, but somewhere in between the natural farming and the organic farming would be more economical, and it will be more fetching in a long run. And we also had presentation by Dev Kumar sir, who gave his personal experiences on the microbial differentiations between the Bijamrutam, the Jivamrutam, how they varied day by day, and his personal research experiences he shared very well, and we really appreciated his knowledge on the microbial aspects of these concoctions and the cow-based preparations. And we had an online presentation by Dr. Sanjay on weed management, which was very informative. And we also had a presentation by Jayasree madam from the veterinary component on the livestock, and she gave very good knowledge upon the different breeds of indigenous breeds of livestock in India and also in the local area. And we also had presentations by Pandit Rathod sir, who gave a very good presentation, crop diversification, and Sunil Konulkarni sir on disease management in natural farming. And we also have very good elaborate presentation by Sugandhi madam on the pest management in the natural farming, and the information was very useful, and even a person with a non-entomology background could understand very well on the in-depth knowledge she has imparted to us. And we also had lectures from Ravi Shankar sir, National PI on ANP organic farming. He gave all the nuances regarding the implementation of organic program at the national level, and he also compared the results of all states, all 8 centers which were practicing this ANP program on organic farming. And this was really eye-opener for us when we saw the results at the different levels. And we also had a presentation by Mukesh Sehgal sir, who was talking about ITK technologies. So this was what we never thought would be brought into this scenario, but it was really an eye-opener session where we could know that there are several traditional practices which are followed elsewhere in India also. And we had a presentation by C.R. Patil at Dharwad, and that was a very good presentation. Rather than the presentation, we had a lab tour. It was very informative, and it was very surprising to know that they are preparing so many microbial cultures, nearly 25 to 30 cultures, and it was really commendable job what they are doing, what we came to know about that there. And we also had presentation from Manjunath Hebbar on the soil quality indices, which is ultimately that is what matters when we compare natural farming with other farming practices regarding the environmental parameters. And we also had presentation by Srinath Dikshit and Subramani sir from Manage, who is a director from Manage. He gave a very good presentation on overall scenario of natural farming in India, and he also elaborately presented how to take it forward. He gave a very good presentation, and this was followed by information, or he updated the DG of Manage who was present here. He informed on very practical aspects on how we have to proceed or interact with farmers to when we want to take this natural farming into the fields. So that was a very good inputs what sir has given, which we have to take. And above all, we had very good field trips, and starting from Kumaraswamy farmer of Kankeri village, and also Chandrasekhar farmer from Mugutahalli village of Chikmalur district. We saw how these natural farming practices were actually implemented, and how the mulching was implemented, how they are able to supply the slurries, cow dung urine slurries to the different plantations, and how they are able to maintain the multi-layer architecture in the field with the areca nut, with cocoa, and with coffee, and also pepper. And we could witness so many different things which we never came across and which never witnessed. So that was a real good exposure visit. And overall, we had a very good experience of seeing the natural farming cultivation practices at Sri Siddhagiri Mutt, that is Kaneri Mutt. And we could see all crops, starting from forage crops, turmeric, and all vegetables and different crops which are cultivated in this field, following only natural practices. And they also showed us the preparations which they made out of this cow dung based preparations, as well as different concoctions which they are using in the field. And that was a real very good exposure visit to us, which we never experienced. And we also had this visit to Tirthahalli yesterday, where we listened to Mr. Arun Kumar sir on his experience and journey into this natural farming. And we also visited his field, where he is maintaining nearly hundreds of indigenous genotypes of rice. We have witnessed the field, we have saw the performance of these varieties in his field, and we are highly, what he is doing is highly commendable. And today we have heard Babalat sir, who spoke about different ecological aspects of implementation of natural farming, and he also spoke of how it has to be taken forward, and especially the policy issues. And it's a very good information what we have gained today. And it's a very good exposure visit, sir. But the only thing I just want to say is, rather than a 12 days or 14 days program would be very good, because we didn't have any practical hands-on training on the preparation of cow-based Bijamrutam. We had Jivamrutam preparation by Jivamrutam, Bijamrutam, and also the different concoctions which we have to use in this natural farming. A 2-day experience on that would be a consummate information from this program, sir. And I congratulate you, sir. You have a very good supporting team here to make this such programs a grand success, sir. And congratulate you also. And I thank you for giving us a very good experience. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now I request other participants to give their feedbacks.
Good morning, respected dais. Myself, Dr. Kiran Malche, working as agronomist at Regional Coconut Research Station, Bhate, Ratnagiri, under DBS KKB Dapoli. Actually, I have given the feedback earlier to continue this training program as a 21-day training program. And in introduction, Dr. Viranda sir and Shanti madam also given the gist of our training program. Anyway, in our childhood, I also observed this 35-40 years back, that is what is natural farming, which is followed in our villages or native place. And in training program, we actually realize what we have experienced here and what are the present status future scope in the natural farming as well as the organic farming. As we are aware, that is the many problems which are facing by the farmers, and we are only focusing on those aspects, that is the use of pesticides, fungicides, again the nutrient management, and new approaches that have been comes to integrated farming approaches along with INM, IPM, IDM. And besides this, natural farming is a well-acquainted fact in agriculture or horticulture system that definitely give us new guidelines for our formulation of the research work as well as the formulation of the new educational curriculum or courses in agriculture or horticulture faculty. Besides this, we have also observed or seen in the exposure visits that how farmers are going from last 20-30 years in natural farming systems, not only in Maharashtra and Karnataka, also nearby Chikmagalur, Tirthali, near Haveri areas, and how they are self-sustainable in natural farming. So we witness that is a good option for further agriculture and further nation development. Besides this, we also acquainted with better knowledge regarding the use of nutrient management aspect, plant protection and other aspects in natural farming system, that we suppose that only in organic system that is the only way to improve the production and productivity and sustainability but in agriculture. But we sure that natural farming is one option for our nation development in agriculture. So ecological intensification that may be followed in future in agriculture through the natural farming. So this training program is especially helpful for us and our farming community. So I am very thankful that overall team from the Department of Agronomy, College of Agriculture, KVK, apart from the state that is a lodging and boarding facility, they were so excellent in this campus. So we appreciate and thankful to them for their support. Again, I am requesting to all the dignitaries and participants to visit our campus and what is our ecosystem, what is our zone, that is the coastal zone, how it is differ from this area and what kind of the system that we follow, that you can realize. So welcome to all of you to our campus and thankful to them for giving me opportunity to participate in a training program as well as to share my views in this plenary session. Thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Dr. Ajay Chauhan, working as a plant pathology at KVK, US Raichur. Before coming to this training, actually we don't know what is the difference between organic farming and natural farming. Now we can confidently say that to all the farmers, and because without seeing they cannot believe. During this training we have visited different genuine farmers. They are practicing from last more than 30 years and they are more than scientists. They have the knowledge that the farmers have the more than the scientist knowledge, and we have collected their knowledge in KVK we can do the training by that confidently now. Even in natural farming and in organic farming, we can grow the crops. And my opinion is that it may be wrong. We can, because of integration of natural farming and organic farming, we can give the title as a eco-friendly farming. Because in organic farming, we have the artificial, we are going to inappear the these biocides. But in natural farming, by adding this, what we by handful of one soil we are going to add, but instead of mixing both the farming, we can give the name as a eco-friendly farming, because the natural farming is a very capture word means natural farming is very wide. Means natural farming we cannot cultivate. There are different definitions It's my opinion. And here the director, co-director are given a very good, excellent facility for staying and in lunch, breakfast, dinner also. And we have past 12 days. It is feeling like only for 4-5 days. Now, in the station they are doing very excellent hospitality also. In the behalf of AS Raichur, and I'm very thankful to this Shivamogga campus as well as the co-directors. Thank you to one and all.
Thank you, sir. Anyone from Bangalore University? Faculty.
What is the challenges? Whether we can adopt it in future. Once we go back, we will learn many things. In that way, whether it's really useful people in that direction, just to give it instead of saying the topic cover other things. You can share in your opinion.
Now I request Dr. Babla sir, chief guest of this function, to address the gathering.
So good afternoon to everyone. So the IDP sponsored national training on natural farming, current status and future prospects. So for this valedictory function, the guests on the dais and the officers of the university, Dr. KT Gurumurthy, Director of Extension, and Dr. M. Dinesh Kumar and my friend Dean PGS of the university, and Dr. C.J. Sridhar, Professor and Head, Agronomy, and the Course Director, Dr. H.K. Virana, and also the department's staff, faculty members of the college or research stations of the Agriculture and Horticulture University Shivamogga, and all the participant friends and invitees. So I profusely thank the organizers, especially on the first day, 2 days before, even Honorable Vice Chancellor and my friend also. We worked together. Dr. R.C. Jagadish sir actually invited me along with Dr. Virana, so to be with us for this training program. So I am here with you. Initially it was not possible because of some programs at PS Dharwad and other programs. So I profusely thank all the officers of the university as well as the Vice Chancellor and the training organizers for giving an opportunity to be with all of you and sharing my thoughts on natural farming, organic farming, and some of the related areas. So really I am happy that some of the participants, you have given a very good feedback about the different lectures, practicals, field visits which have been organized during the course of this training program for about 12 days. I think it was hectic. That what I have heard when we visited Dharwad also. I thought to finish my talk there itself, but Dr. Ivan told, sir, it's better to come to Shivamogga. So I am here actually and thankful to him. And he also worked with us
as one of the principal investigator during the natural farming. So we used to meet once in 6 months at least to review the natural farming programs. So he is really very hardworking, and he has understood the principles of natural farming and organic farming. So I think the university has identified a right person, Dr. Virana, to be the organizer for this training program. And I think you all given a good grasp for this. Natural farming, organic farming, just I don't want to take more time because I already presented my thoughts and views for about 1.5 hours. But as a formality for this valedictory function, that is how the natural farming, why this concept of natural farming and organic farming, even though we have studied, some of the people will confuse with natural farming as a Fukuoka's practice. So it is not the Fukuoka's practice of natural farming, where there will be no tillage, or no fertilizers, no plant protection, so leave the crop to the nature. So this will not happen, because we have to produce almost to meet the food requirement of more than 150 crores of people and other basic needs. And whatever the developments took place in agriculture, really we are fortunate in the world scenario of food security. Now we are almost during 1950s, 60s, once we have heard and studied, all of you, that is India is a begging bowl, we can say. So we used to import food grains from US, Canada, Australia, some of the countries at that time. And with a good development in agriculture, that is we became self-sufficient, and now we are producing almost 320 million tons of food grains. And we are not only food secure country, but we are also now exporting our food grains, wheat, rice, and many other crops. That too, the organic food market is also grown. Now we are exporting more than $7,000 million. That is like that, the export of food grains and other commodities. So, but the present problem, that is what are the challenges that we are facing now, not the food security, but what will be the future, that is with respect to the quality of food, our environment, soil health, and also the economic, that is the security or indigenous, because the most important is for the farmers, the economic sustainability. So that was not, that is achieved for that matter by many literatures available. So the farmers are now, that is their economic status has not that we can say lucrative, or we can say developed, as we see with respect to other fields, other areas, other services. So looking to that, we have to see two aspects that I have told earlier also, that is, one is any production system, it should be economically viable and ecologically sustainable. So these two aspects we have to look into, and our policymakers in India as well as world over, that is organic farming movement started in 2000 with NPOP program from Government of India. Now the program of National Mission on Natural Farming also, that is the government has given much stress upon that. It is one of the flagship program. So these things are happening. So there is a need for change, and I think it is inevitable also now. We have to think it is inevitable. So we have to change our farming system. So that's how such a capacity building, training programs, research programs, demonstrations through KVKs are now adopting the villages, developing the clusters for organic farming, natural farming. So this is all going on, and I think it is a good move because most of you have expressed that when we documented organic farming practices across the state, that is more than 200 farmers. So those farmers who are adopted organic farming and many of these ecological farming practices, their soil conditions are good, fertile, productive, and even resilience to the climate vagaries. And looking to that, and also as a member, one of the empirical validation of natural farming, Government of India, ICAR has constituted a committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Praveen Rao, that is Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pandit Jaishankar University. So about 3 years back, so I was one of the members, so from ICAR constituted team. So in that, almost throughout India, that is, they have made a team. We visited several places across India, even north, northeast, central, and southern parts of India. So when we visited the farmers' fields individually, we have distributed, that is, the different locations. We found that those farmers practicing natural farming, they are, that is, found that they are more, that is, stable, sound in their practices, and their socioeconomic conditions is also good, and they have maintained the soil health. That's how in that recommendation, even though the research studies also documented in that, from different universities we obtained the research results also, even starting from Palampur or the Himachal Pradesh University and other universities. So the yield reduction was noticed from 25 to 50% from the ICAR institutes and several institutes. But even then, in the final recommendation, looking to the farmers' practices and their opinion and research results. So finally in that they concluded, and the recommendation has been given to the ICAR, that there is a need for the change in the farming systems. That is because the agri-food systems at national and international level, people are thinking that there is a need for change. So there is a lot of contamination. That is, people need a quality food, and the soil degradation is happening. So if it is continued, so there will be again problem with respect to food security in future. So looking to these points in that recommendation are also there, that there is a need for research in the beginning, and need for training and capacity building, even for the teachers, scientists, as well as the farmers, for this to happen, change to happen. So this was the recommendation in that, and we have to, there is a recommendation for, initially it has to start with 3 areas where the agro inputs or chemical inputs usage is much less, hardly about 8 to 9% of fertilizer being used. So such of the areas, which areas can be identified, like that rain-fed areas where the inputs and fertilizer usage is less. So such of the recommendations have been made. So this looking to all these things, even in National Mission on Natural Farming also, that is the universities and even managed can take lead, and universities can contribute to that. That's how the training programs also been happening in different locations. So this is what I feel, that is, and even my personal opinion individually, that is looking to our experience for last 15-20 years, but it needs some transformation. Ecological transformation is need of the hour, and it will happen also in future. So we have to present the agriculture is mainstream agriculture, is conventional agriculture, or it is partially intensive or chemical farming. So that is slowly we have to withdraw the chemicals from the agriculture. To phase out these chemicals from agriculture, conventional agriculture, it needs lot of the research, technology support, training to the farmers or demonstration to the farmers, but it will take time, its own time, what I feel, but it will happen. And one more thing, that is there is a build-up of soil, that is soil regeneration through these natural and organic farming is possible. So that's what compared to present day chemical agriculture. So unless we transform, regenerate our soil, regeneration of our soil, there is no future for agriculture that is to prosper. So with this, I thank the organizers, and also I request all the participants also, whatever the training, I think you are the experts in this field around natural farming and organic farming in your respective universities or institutes. So there is a need for research on these ecological agriculture. Most of the Western world now they are moving towards this, and we have to have the leaders in this field also in future. Otherwise, there is no scope for agricultural scientists, that is what agricultural system, research system itself. So we have to think in this direction also. So we have to initiate the research, and use Dharwad, you might have seen lot of transmitted changes, that is Institute of Organic Farming. Almost all the bio inputs are produced and bio farm is maintained. So that is a role model for many of the farmers now. They are visiting regularly. And we have visited Canary Mutt also. When I visited the Canary Mutt, that is, they have organized one mega event, that is recently. That is really wonderful. You can see here very good their field demonstrations on organic farming and natural farming. So almost 108 crops were grown by Canary Mutt, that is under natural farming, and really good crop stand that we have observed, and many farmers field also we have visited Tirthalli. Here we have at Tirthalli only the policy on organic farming was signed, first policy of organic farming in 2004, that is at Tirthalli. So this is how the things are happening. So I wish that you may continue this type of studies in future, and I thank the organizer for giving an opportunity, for inviting me and giving an opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your valuable words, sir. I also welcome Dr. Gijay sir for this program. I request Dean PGS Dr. Dinesh Kumar sir to speak few words about this program.
So all the dignitaries, leaders and dear trainees and dear friends, it's a good opportunity for me to interact with you all. Definitely we know that all the training schedules and all whatever that is happened went on naturally, right? Very good. But once when we leave this place from here onwards, it will not be a natural way. Hope you got it. Okay, I would not like to explain about these things, because you see, trainings are a very common schedule, 7 days, 8 days, 10 days, 21 days, 21 days. Those who are having family, it doesn't apply. So those problems are there. But anyway, this time we are having a topic of natural farming, so everybody will appreciate natural farming. And tomorrow onwards, if there is an organic farming training program, everybody will appreciate organic farming. And some other time, if it is of the some other aspects, so those aspects are being prized. Now, after going out of this room, what is that you think? A real analogy. Sir was actually putting about those ideas where exactly we wanted to pour in. One is your present status. As you could able to know from this channel, your director sir was briefing like anything. So these are the programs went on very good, went on a very good module, and as a feedback also you are very much appreciated about these things. But after you go out of this room, you have to make an analogy. Is it Indian situation? Which one is good? Which one is bad? Now you are having a sufficient knowledge. Absolutely no way about that. But then I poured in about something like natural farming. Can I able to take up? But there are many issues related to this natural farming and other things, as you all aware. But the thing is that how exactly that can be fit into? There are many basic. So how it is actually happening in the farmer's field? A very poor family wherein he doesn't have any paisa to spend about these things. See, that is natural farming. Okay, so there are many other related issues, like, so up to, we can take up to the government level wherein the contribution of your GDP from agriculture, fine, absolutely fine. But the thing is that when we take about food sustenance, so what is the way, what is the approach? Now, dear friends, you are all now knowledge-based guys, right? So only thing is, how is that you could able to disseminate this information here and onwards? Because you have learned something about natural farming. I don't say that full, 100% or so, but some lines are there, some good thinkings are there with you. I wish right? Okay, now this has to be utilized properly. Otherwise, the training programs are the wastefulness. We have a bundle of opportunities for the future prospectus. One, farmer. How is exactly he is doing? We are having a very vast-based agroecological situations, very vast-based cropping systems and other things. And every then and off, say if you take the balance sheet of decades, 10 years, so there will be a change in the cropping production, right? So if we want to travel from one place to the other place, from our childhood, what was the cropping was there, now it is not there. See, under such scenario, so can we be able to pull up natural farming, organic farming, or else there's something else integrated farming? So this is our analogy. So looking to the agroecological situations, cross-cutting ground, sustenance, a lot of things, soil sustenance, then ecological sustenance. So all these things will pose a problem because totally it is sustainable. Totally it should be natural. So when I say natural, grand example is forest. The grand example is your these things, right now what you could able to see. So in productivity, in tune with the soil productivity, they are finding a place. Nor we are finding any of the deficiency symptoms, whether it is 16, 17 or 18, that has to come in the days after. So it is a very routine way. So that is a natural system where it is being done. And the same things cannot be produced in our lands of 143 or 145 million hectares of the land because we are fatigued about so many things. We are fought about so many aspects because one way increasing population, another way decremental in all the ways resources I mean to see. Okay, so then the weather is this time we are shrouded with the mystery that is rainfall, right? So which is a major component for the dryland agriculture. So in all these situations, how exactly I can pose up, how exactly I can impose some of the knowledge which I gain, along with the natural, the others also. Because these things, a single aspect will not be the answer for any pertinent ways and means are concerned. So very incidentally, we have to look upon all these things and congregate about these issues. Then only these types of training programs has got a value. Hope you will take this to the practical way wherever you want. See, we want from the farmer's field, we want in all the levels up to the level of making a government law. It doesn't have anything like that, right? See, what I can say is a vast gap in the prospectus or concern. So how exactly you fit in this knowledge, how exactly you gain this knowledge to the practicality so that it can become a law for such and such a thing or such and such a area can be able to do with natural or some other thing, right? So like that, so we are having a organic diets and everything. So like that, can you able to make a natural? So if it is a natural, only 12 years are you going to recommend? If it is 12 years, so any fruit crops, can you able to grow about these things? So that they grow naturally. We can say that naturally. But under those lines, can you able to manage these things in a better way? Or what is our idea? So this type of analogy, please come down with your own area and everything. Then I think you can have the fruitful way. So I'm very much thankful for the opportunity given, especially your director sir was actually I doesn't want this time also, because morning it would have been fitted well, in the evening it would have been fitted well, but in the somewhere in the middle I find myself, because I want to go to university, not soon after taking food also I have to go to university. So that is some sort of my conceptual way, because I don't want to miss my office. So that is also there. So somehow I thank very much for the Veeralla and all of you for getting interaction with this as a platform, utilizing this as a platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. C.J. Sridhar sir to speak about the program.
So, most of dignitaries in the dais, the Director of Extension, Dr. Gurumurthy, and Dean PGS, Dr. Dinesh Kumar, and the research person in Dean UAS Harvard, Dr. Babla sir, Dr. Gilgir sir, and the main focus, the course director, Dr. H.K. and all media participants. So, from the department, as well as from the university, the course director organized a 12 days program. So I think it is an important program where present status and future trends on natural farming. So I think before joining to this course, we know what is the status. After 12 days program, what is your status? Is there any changes with respect to the subject, natural farming? So as our Dean PJ suggested, so you are attending different programs, natural farming, organic farming, or modern farming, or IFS system. Wherever you go, we are giving important. But as a scientist, if you think, really this natural farming, is there any influence in the farmer's level? Okay, so we have a lot of confusion: natural farming, organic farming, biodynamic farming, zero farming. So like this. So for what type of crops you can practice this natural farming? That is also we have to think of. Okay, the farmers are practicing. To what extent we can follow this natural farming? Okay, what type of farmers can follow the natural farming? That is also very important. So I think the course director, so he put important and most resourceful person for different topics. So he have organized our program in a systematic way. So I think you learn many things from this. The purpose of organizing this program is so most of you are a teacher in the different universities. So they are putting this natural farming as one of the topics. So you have to contribute something about natural farming while preparing syllabus and other things. So I think the organized course director has taken very keen interest. We have to expose to the practical aspects, has taken you to the different organic natural farming institutions, Italy and other places. So practically we have explored different things, and you should. So as our Dean PJ suggested, so you should always have an analytical manner. So you should not be in a confusing manner. So while going back, what you have to tell? So what is your thinking? Natural farming or organic farming, biodynamic farming, or mixture of all this? So think from the farmer level. Okay, so the government will tell many things, but to what extent we can follow these aspects, so that is also very, very important. So I think during your stay for 12 days, it is peaceful and you are I think more comfortable, but at the same time, as a subject wise, you have to remember the subject is also very important. You should disseminate whatever the things you have learned here to the ultimate target groups. I think it is very, very important. So in this regard, I particularly very much thankful to Dr. H.K. Varanna, who is the course director, who is offering this completed 12 days training program. So on behalf of the department and university, I would very much thankful to Dr. H.K. Varanna. So at the same time, so all participants, I wish all the best, and whatever things you have learned here, you have to use it in an effective way. Ultimately, our group is farmer, target group is farmer. At least you have to contribute to the farmers. Are you teaching as a subject, you disseminate this knowledge and contribute something and judge in a perfect way. That is very important. So I think, again, I express heartfelt thanks to Dr. H.K. Varanna, who is the organizing member, provided an opportunity to deliver the things to you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Now it's a time for distribution of certificates. I request all the dignitaries to distribute the certificates. Dr. Tushar Narayan, Throat. Dr. Tushar Narayan, Throat. Hi, sir. Next is Dr. Kiran Vinayak Malshe. Dr. Kiran Vinayak Malshe. Next, Dr. Haja Yashwant Munj. Dr. Raja Yashwant Munj. Dr. Mahesh Sakaram Sidhi. Dr. Mandar Gajanan Puri. Dr. M. Shanti. Dr. G. Santosh Kumar. Santosh Kumar. Dr. G. Santosh Kumar. Next. Dr. J. K. Revant Nathan. Dr. R. Srinivas Rao. Dr. Srinivas B.V. Dr. N. Mallikarjun. Dr. N. Mallikarjun. Mr. Harish Manpad. Harish. Dr. Raj. Dr. S.V. Ugar. Dr. Manu Kumar HR. Dr. Siddhappa R. Dr. Premalata BR. Dr. Yogeshappa H. Premalata madam. Dr. Mohan Kumar AB. Mohan Kumar AB. Next, Dr. Dinesh MS. Mohan Kumar. Next. Dr. Shashikiran AS. Shashikiran AS. Shivaputra Bammanal. Shilpa HD. Dr. Kumar Nayak H. Dr. R. Girish. Dr. R. Girish. Dr. Shilpa Shri YP. Dr. Rudragowda P. F. Thank you for dignitaries for distribution of the certificates. Sir, there is a request from participants. They want to give some gift for the course director, sir. They have given the request, sir.
Let us first have the president's speech.
I request Dr. Mirana sir, Dr. Giljay sir, and also Mr. Raju, caretaker of the guest house. Dr. Mirana sir. Really, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for participants for your token of love and affection. Now I request Dr. K.T. Gurumurthy sir, Director of Extension, to give presidential remarks.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, especially today's chief guest, Dean Agri College of Agriculture, yes, Dharwad, Babul Darsar, and also our Dean PGS, Dr. M. Dinesh Kumar, and Professor and Head, Dr. C.J. Sridhar, Department of Agronomy, and Course Director Virana, and also our KVK Senior Professor and Head, Dr. Girjesh, also the staff of KVK and teachers of College of Agriculture, Shimoga, and especially beloved participants who come from different states. Just I will not go in details. Just with respect to 10 days training, the programs on the organic farming. So just I have seen there are many good the experts or the resource persons they talk or given the many the informations about the different the farming system of the organic farming, inorganic farming, very many dynamic farming, conventional farming. So I will not go in depth. Again, I think you have maybe what exactly is there any difference between these different forms, or I don't know, sometimes you may be confused. So again, by knowing I think by the time you may be knowing some of these maybe limitations or advantages, whatever the disadvantage for these, especially concerned to the different organic forms and inorganic forms, their implementation, how you can implement, the develops, models, other things. Most probably in detail things will be covered during this the presentation. But again, just clarify this: any the farming systems. Maybe there are organic systems or maybe inorganic system, they different dynamic system or conventional forms. Again, that depends upon the many factors. Agriculture itself, again, that depends upon the different function, that depends upon the land. Is very important factor you have to take into consideration. And again, whenever things is the climate. So whatever the system was developed or the technology, first you see whether that technology or the methods or that is suitable for that particular climate. And another most important thing with respect to agriculture concern, availability of water availability. Again, so location specific or whether that particular location where exactly you are conducting the suitability. That's why we say land suitability classification, land use. Like that, there are many things. First you see whether that particular land is suitable for that particular crop, the particular association that you have to consider. And based on that, there are you have already you have seen the different cropping system or the organic system. Just to say, just I will give you statistics. Then I will conclude my presentations. You know our total the population is 1.42 million. The Indian is concerned. Again, you may be knowing our total geographic area 328 or 229 million hectares. So only at present, I just have get the data. So our next one area is 139.3 million hectares, but only about 42.4% of the total geographic area. So again, you say our cropping intensity is 141.6%. So if you come to our food grains production is roughly 1,26,950,000 hectares. Total food production, grain production is 315.42 million hectares. That means you have only about 359 or 56 million hectares. So of course, the productivity is 2,419 kg per hectares. So one of the estimates says that by 2025, food production should be increased 320.26 million hectares. By 2030, it should be 350 million hectares. That means, of course, you have to go for the doubling our food productions. So, sometimes the government says we have to increase double the income of the farmers, increase the food productions. So, only the question is, by this increasing the population, mostly our rightly pointed by our Dean PJs and also the Dean Agri, whether we can, by adopting these systems, even the organic farms in our farm, can increase our food production by increasing the populations. I think you know the many things, the constraints, adaptability, whether we can adapt or limitations, other things. With that tension, there is a challenge for you people. That you have to decide whether you have to go for which farm is suitable for just to feed the or just to increasing the population for the food production. In that way, we just as in the, especially the training programs which are organized, very well organized, very systematically organized. And also another thing to just observe the most of the field is just also visited the many urban farms or the nation farm systems. They are mostly, I think, when you observe these things are most of the wherever the natural farm systems adopted, mostly was in the plantain crops. Maybe I reckon it. Whatever the field crops, cereals crop, what things, not to think over in that way. Whether this we can adopt same in these crops or increase that, how we can adapt it, how we can adopt some strategies in that way, very challenging people. Develop these things, conduct some research on this. We have to create awareness to the farmers by conducting the training programs or demonstration. So once we go back to our question, okay, only this is how that this situation, there is our challenges and we have to formulate different again, different we are conducting research also. Don't conduct only some for instead of just about the presentation about it. Different situation, different factors, most probably based on the cropping system, self-sufficient farming system, different scientific values, whether that situation is suitable for cropping, whether that crop is suitable. Based on that, you have to probably say good research program, we conduct a research program. There is a challenge, still there is a scope for conducting these things, whatever things you learn. So with this brief introductions, again I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Ashok sir to render the vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and my most friendly participants of this training program. This is the last session of your 12 days training program. I am very much thankful to all the dignitaries like Dr. Dinesh Kumar, PG Dean, very thankful to Dr. Dinesh Kumar who has been here for our program as a chief guest. Thank you very much on behalf of participants and also on behalf of our organizers, sir. Our resource person and also today's chief guest from Dharwad, Dr. Badlat sir, we are very much thankful for your words, sir. We thank you on behalf of the participants and also our organizing committee. Our today's program, our beloved Dr. Gurumurthy sir, who has taken as a president for this session. We are very much thankful for your words and advice, sir. Thank you very much. Of course, always for 12 days and our 1 month, Dr. Sridhar, our HOD of Agronomy Department is with us. For your support, we are thankful very much, sir. And our co-director for this training program and senior scientist and head of this KVK, Dr. Girish sir, we are thankful to you, sir, from all the participants and organizers. And we are very much thankful being in we are also in the committee. We are supporting Dr. Veeranda. We are very much happy to work with him, either best or better. We always search for better things, best things, even though he is not satisfied sometimes. In spite of that, also he will reach the destiny. Sir, we all, our team and our participants reach somewhere, we have crossed 80% of your expectation. for this wonderful organization of the training team and support for us. Thank you very much on behalf of participants and our committee. Thank you very much. Now, this is the time you have to thank our university, especially our Honorable Vice Chancellor is always with us to support all kind of things. And also IDP Program Coordinator Dr. Shashidhar, who has been given the opportunity to utilize the finance support, and all the key officers of our university have given support since 2 months we fabricated this training program. Thank you for all the our key officers of our KSNUAHS, and a special thanks to our KDK staff and our coordinator Dr. Gittur sir to give all these facilities to conduct this program. I definitely, as we have taken the feedback from different participants, definitely across the country, even some person has given the lecture from abroad also, online program. They are all very beautiful, knowledgeable and things they have given. Of course, you will also catch the words with all the resource person. We thank the resource person across the country, retired elements and natural advisors, national advisors, US Harvard, US Bangalore, Manage, EAU, ECRISAT, US Raichur, US UHS Bagalkota and KSNUAHS, resources from different universities and across the country. They have done a beautiful lecturing for you, and they shared their knowledge. We are thankful to you, sir, on behalf of all the participants. Of course, we are all here because of your deputation from your respective universities like DBSKKVY, Maharashtra, ICR, KVKs, PJPSA University, Telangana, US Bangalore, Bagalkot, Raichur, KSNUAHS, and also KVK staff here because of deputation from your respective universities. We are very much thankful to the host universities. Definitely we have to say thanks, very big thanks to all participants, because you are not given any single problem you have raised so far for our committee, organizing committee, and we are very thankful to you on behalf of University, KVK and Department of Agronomy and all organizers. Very much thankful for all the participants. Of course, our estate branch, our university, all the committees members, steering committee, food committee, finance committee, program, and also all KVK staff have been supported us, and also Department of Agronomy staff, and especially Kannada media news from local channel Shivamoga, and all the officers, all our professors, all our faculty, all the laborers and everything contributed to this program. On behalf of our organization, we are thankful to all of you. A special thanks to especially Dr. Shilpa Ami, who has taken a very pain on behalf of our organization. Always used to communicate you people on since 1 month. Very much thankful, madam. And Dr. Shilpa HD is a participant. Unless also he worked as an organizing committee member. Thank you very much. And all progressive farmers who have given a beautiful experience with you during your visit to Chikmagalur, Kanneri Mat, and also Haveri district, and also yesterday we visited Tirthalli. So all the progressive farmers, we are thankful to you and we are grateful to you. At last, anybody who has supported, even though participants are here from KSNUAHS, all like I don't want to name you, all the participants from KSNUAHS, they acted as organizers and also participants. And thankful to our guest house, food accommodation provider, and at last all the university faculty and everyone, and also our photographer, our Kannada media photographer. We have given a photography for you. That is also beautiful. We are thankful to Mr. Hanumantappa. And so far, we have contributed for this program. Thank you very much. I wish you all happy journey, safe journey. Please keep in touch with our university and faculty. Thank you very much.